getting my mind together. I'm still listening hard to Amber Simone, y'all. This one song she has out called "I Want It All." It's called "Want It All." That's how I'm gliding into 2025, y'all. I'm gliding into 2025 on that type of vibe. I'm coming for it all, period, point blank. You know how you get tired after a while? You get tired of you being in your own way. That's where I'm at right now. I'm tired of me being in my own way. So it's like, you know what, Vet, at this point, Jonah, it's time to just get on out your way and just let go. Just let go and let God. So that's where I am right now. So you all are welcome to join me. Come on in, SK. Come on in, everybody. I'm going to get this set up. Come on in, everybody. I'm going to get this set up. Let's get it started. It is Friday as you all are coming in. My name is Vet Green, and this is the Vet Green Show. I welcome you all. TGIF, Sarah Gonzalez, TGIF, user 4493, Helen, Brandy, Blackney, Blakeney, everyone that's coming in. I'm going to go ahead and get this started. Let's start with the song I was listening to as I was getting started today. I've been listening to Amber Simone. I'm going to get it started here. Who are we going to play? We just go get into Faded. If you all would just do me a favor and share this live out to everybody. Like, share, subscribe. It's free. I guarantee you, if you continue to come back, you're going to get something out of it. Because we have great conversations over here. Me, Karen, we have great conversations over here. Share this.
I'm high though, off that Christ though, going psycho. I run around doing cartwheels like a hypo. You feeling me? Don't be killing me. You're illing me. Demons on my back, yeah, they be drilling me. I tell you 3 times like a trilogy. Eating up his word and give me energy. Tell the filthy devil, get up off of me. Saying you gotta pay, ain't nothing for free. It's only up from here. I can shake this hat off, yeah, I know it's real. Kinda woozy, I'm fading in the spirit. Yeah, my face is kinda blurry. I'm feeling kinda woozy. Yeah, even to another top spot is up for grabs, bro. I just like this. Mid was native, so I never lack. Got with numbers up like Chicago be doing with the tax, though. Hype it, I ain't smoking on the wax, yeah. Man, I can't deny it, got a sober mind, yeah. Fire in my eyes, different kind of high. Mask off Mick Foley, I'm a Russell with the trophies. Low-key Kobe, wave emojis till I get a flood of rolling, yeah. All of my homies they flex, yeah. I'm still when I throw up the set. And then they invested a check and I came out of prayer, you see the effects. Educated and intelligent, baby, I'm solid, they can't get ahead of it. Homie is evident, I got the evidence, no different presidents, I'm the veterans. You see all the demons had him up against. Jesus came to my defense. Highly favored, they don't need to choose me. Make us sway with the vibes, that's a movement. It's only up from here. I can shake this hat off, yeah, I know it's real. Wanna see your tone, people tell me what's the deal. Man, I'm feeling like David.
Come on in, everybody. Come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. We go get all of the stuff out the way very, very early. So Grand Rising, come on in the room. Come on in the room, everybody. First, I want to kick it off and say a very, very, very happy birthday to my big cousin Clifton, who was a guiding force as I grew up as a teenager. He definitely paved the way for me to be the woman that I am, meaning that my cousin didn't play that stuff. Okay. It was certain things that we couldn't do. We couldn't be out there roaming the streets and stuff. So he was the big brother, even though he was the big cousin. He was the big brother. He was the one that was like, and I don't care what your friends out here doing. Y'all get y'all butts back home. And I mean, literally, he had this big Lincoln, y'all. He had this big old Lincoln because he got me and my other cousin by like 4 or 5 years. He had this big Lincoln. And when I tell you, he literally, Lolita, thank you so much for coming back this morning. He literally, y'all, rolled that car about 5 miles an hour as we walked our pretty little butts from the Baker homes to the projects. I was so mad at him. But happy birthday to you, cuz. I love you so much. And I appreciate you, because I know that me and cuz wouldn't be the women that we are had we not had somebody like that telling us, no, y'all ain't gonna be out here running these streets and acting like fools. So happy birthday to you. And I also want to give a happy heavenly birthday to our Tweety. And I said, today is not gonna be one of them days where the devil pulled me down, because I know my girlfriend, and I know that sometimes when you are suffering from inside, and I seen it with my own mom, and I know that my mom, had she not been suffering from the inside, she would never, ever, ever had left me as soon as God called her home. And my girlfriend was called home, I feel, because God said your job was done. And as young as her children are, and they are, I do know that God don't do no wrong. And sometimes the hurt that we are feeling is just too much, and only God can relieve that pain. And it's not by you taking your own life, it's just by God saying that your job is well done. So happy beautiful birthday to my friend Arquette, okay, Jackson. Happy beautiful birthday to you, love. And I know that you did a job well done, because she was one of them mamas. Listen, y'all, me and my girlfriend, she was one of them mamas that them kids, she was still she's a phenomenal mom. You know what I mean? She's a phenomenal mom. She was a phenomenal mom. Them kids, she would hurt and all. She would do anything for them kids. And that's you know, she took her job seriously. So I want to say happy birthday to you, love. I know you are up there. No more pain, you know, no more suffering. You got the best love, the bestest love. Okay. So happy birthday to them. I wanted to get that out the way before we get into talking, because I knew that it was going to be a little bit hard. Yes, we're going to be talking about Papoose and Remy. I knew it was going to be a little bit hard, because had she been here and had I been here and had she been well, we probably would have been doing something. So, but God said different. Anywho, everybody, thank you all for coming in this morning. Like my bro Franklin said, let's talk about Papoose and Remy. Y'all, my question is, and I put it up on the Instagram page, everybody. And good morning, Joanne. Grand Rising, everybody out there. Grand Rising, come on in, share this live. We are talking. I want to ask you all. Hey, Pastor Jelani, thank you so much for sharing. Hey, Alvin. Hey, and Minor. Come on in, Constance. I want to ask you all, does it matter who cheats first? Does it matter who cheats first? Because y'all know, and I'm going to bring up the video, which kind of sparked this all off. And we talked about it on the morning show podcast, y'all. So if you've been following us for a while, we talked about this. We had this debate on the morning show podcast. I still feel like, you know what, let me just get into the video. We're just going to start the video, and I hope that it plays. So this is remember the allegations were that Remy was messing with the battle rapper Geechee Gotti. I think that's his name. I gotta pause this. No. Okay. Let me open this. All right. I do apologize, y'all. See, this is why I got to. Ugh. listen. Yes, I am staying warm because the snow is definitely out. The snow is definitely out. We're gonna go. Let me just get the video play queued up here because I caught myself emailing it to myself. But you see, the play is playing there. So, all right. Yeah, Lord, y'all remember the video that came out, Geechee Gotti? I mean, he called it right out. And at that time, all of this stuff was not going on. Unless you were in the know, you just didn't know. So I'm going to play a little bit of this video and we can open up the conversation. My question again, does it matter who cheats first, Pastor Jelani? Does it matter, Big Mike, who cheats first? Does it matter who cheats first, Tandra? Love, does it matter? Listen, y'all. Like I said on Instagram, I think when you are in a relationship, Angela 56562, I think when you are in a relationship, you are in a relationship. A relationship in marriage, yeah. You know what? Let's just get into a video. Let's just get into the video. I'm a Capricorn. I'm just gonna say that. Let's get into the video, y'all. And then we're gonna open up the conversation.
To 15 minutes of fame.
Let's go.
Let me.
I'm actually upset that you got niggas thinking you ain't got this worker. Fuck the boss. He barely get battle rap pussy. I'm not even sure.
Excuse me.
That's why when Pat seen the gloves was off. This ain't no regular female, my nigga. That's his wife. Knocking you off compared to what he could have did to you. Nigga, that was light. And you ain't off the hook either. And you ain't off the hook either.
Now, I'm going to pause this for a moment because what he's talking about, and this is the second part to this question, because I am a true believer of this. I am a believer in loyalty. Do not play with me. I'm a believer in loyalty. Don't play with me. Is this camera right, y'all? Because yesterday I noticed that it was a little bit off. Anywho, so allegedly there was an instance, y'all, where Remy Ma allegedly and Geechee Gotti and Papoose, they must have all met somehow or another. And allegedly, the allegations are that this guy shook Papoose hand, knowing good and well he was allegedly sleeping with Remy. Now, do not play with me. Don't play with me. I feel the same way. Don't play with me. If you know good and well, and this is what I say, that a lot of times people tell on themselves, because sometimes you have women out there who are quick. You have women out there who are quick to, because they think it's funny, they want to be all up in the woman's face, knowing good and well they're sleeping with that woman's man. You also obviously have men out there who think that it's not an issue when this happens. And like the allegations are, hey, beautiful. Hey, Kanisha. Hey, love. My babe said, good morning, morning. Like the allegations are, it's not that you were sleeping with Remy. This is what they were saying. This is what's out there. It's not that he is sleeping with Remy. It's that, like, dude, why would you shake my hand? I would rather you ignore me. I would rather you not say anything to me. Please do not be up in my face and you up in my man's face. Please don't do that, because now we got to fight. Absolutely, we got to fight, because I feel that's disrespectful. So I feel where he's coming from that, because I think that's disrespectful. I do not, just like, listen, I don't believe in giving ammunition to anybody. You will never, ever, ever, no, you will not be able to disrespect my man, just like I don't think that you should be able to disrespect anybody's woman. No, you're not going to do that. I think that's so disrespectful. Why would you shake this man's hand knowing good and well, if the allegations are true, you are sleeping with his wife? Why, woman, would you be in this woman's face knowing good and well that you sleeping with her man? Like, make it make sense. That's kind of a mind F to you, because I know that don't feel good. That can't feel good. We talked the other day, hey, sis, Sweat, we talked the other day about side pieces, side chicks, and I told my own story about how I went through the experience, early on after me and my ex broke up. And I realized early on, I can see why it works for some people. I can, especially when you have young kids. You may not be ready for a relationship, but what I got out of that, Dominique, cuz Grand Rising, my love, what I got out of that was, no, this is not for Vet. I realized that, Vet was married for a very long time, and Vet, quite honestly, I like being married. I like being with one person. I'm a one-person woman. I love that. I love being with just my man. I don't have time for all of those different personalities, but to each his own. Like my mom, my grandmother always said, to each his own. But at the same time, don't be all up in my face. Don't be all up in my face knowing good and well you sleeping with my partner or trying to come on to my partner. Friendships have broken up because of that. Okay? Don't play with me. That's all I'm saying. And I feel, Papoose, if this is what happened. Now, everybody, let's open it up to this, because this happened. But Remy's now, now we've entered the group chat, right? Edna, we've entered the group chat, best friend. We've entered the group chat. Now they're out on social media and they're going back and forth. And it's like, well, this person cheated first and that person cheated first. And my question is, does it really matter who cheated? Shouldn't cheating be off? Jenny Pooh, I know we got polygamy and all of this other stuff out there, and we don't know if they were in an open relationship, because that's on the table nowadays. But if you are in a relationship, what is the name of the relationships now when it's just one person? Babe, what is our relationship? That is what I'm talking about. I just want one person. But to each his own. We don't know what went on, but they're trying to say because she cheated first and now he has his woman. And I know how we can be women. I know how we can be. We don't want to see it. We don't want to see that mess, because then it's now our emotional side is coming through, because we are still emotional. You can act as tough as you want to. Oh, excuse me, y'all. You can act as tough as you want to, but at the end of the day, ladies, we are emotional beings, because we are the ones who carry the baby. So we have to have some type of emotional, I don't even want to say emotional intelligence, because everybody is not emotional intelligence. We have to have some type of nurturing in us. Buenos dias, baby. Grand. We have to have that. Kanisha said, if you have to cheat, leave the person alone. Like the F. Exactly. I remember, and I told this story before, when I was married before, my mother-in-law at the time said, your body is your temple. And I didn't understand that at that time. We hadn't gotten legally married yet. And she's telling me, and me being a teenager, I'm like, yeah, you just want us to get married. We fight. And then now in this big old age of 48, after the experiences that I have had, now I realize what she's talking about, because you really do, y'all. You really do. Think about the people that you've been involved in. You kind of absorb that energy. And then when you add to it, if you if you are intimate with that person, now you're adding additional energy to it. And for those of you who don't believe in energy, I mean, you may not, this may go over your head, and not in a bad way, like I'm saying, like I'm smarter than you, just that it just may go over your head. But there really is a such thing as energies. I am an empath, so I absorb a lot of energy. I am such a feeling person. But when you add to the intimacy to that, everybody, right? When you add to the intimacy, these are real things that happen. But a lot of people, because we don't actually see it happening in the now, like you can't see the flesh of it happening, you don't think it's happening. But think about after, when you were in that relationship, you may have started picking up on some habits that person had. Hello, the energy. Now you are doing the same thing that person's doing, or maybe you start talking like that person. That's what it is. So if that's happening, if you now are having the same lingo as that person, imagine what else you have also absorbed. So sometimes if you absorb in that negative energy that person always is exhibiting, then now you are also a negative person. Sid said, as we get older, we start to see who was raised properly. So many people lack basic respect. That's how I feel about it. Sis Sweat, you said a lot there, because we really do. The older I get, the more I realize that based on the way people are raised really is a determining factor on how they act as adults. Now, you can be raised in horrible conditions and you can use that as jet fuel. That's the goal. But oftentimes that is not the case. You see, what you see is a chain link fence of the same thing happening over and over again, just from generation to generation to generation in those type of families a lot of times, you know. So I agree. Kanisha said real shit. Sid Sweat said cheating simply means you don't have love or trust yourself. Trust God. Let the real one come to you. That part, Sid. That part. And Kanisha is agreeing, right? Hey, Sweetness Sweet Tea Podcast. Thank you so much for joining today. As you guys are coming in, I also want you to let me know where you are with your mental health from 1 to 10, because so much is, it is like the world has just like say, boom. And all the hidden stuff that wasn't really hidden is now coming to light. And what we are seeing transpire, everybody. What we are seeing is the reality of the fact that all of these people that we looked at as like superhuman, like Wonder Woman. I remember growing up, I loved Wonder Woman. I wanted to be Wonder Woman. She was like the first woman superhero that I saw on television, because, you know, they made it seem like only men can save things. So that she was the first woman superhero, and I wanted to be Wonder Woman. But I never met Linda Evans, but in my head, like, she was just this superhuman being. The first time that I saw Mary J. Blige on stage, I burst out crying. One, because my mind was meeting the fact that she's real. Like, I've been listening to her music for so many years, but now I get to see her on stage and see that she's not just a figment of my imagination. She's not just someone that can uplift me and inspire me. She's real. And I burst out crying. So imagine a slew of people who seeing your favorite star, Denzel Washington, Mary J. Blige, you know, Beyonce, Jay Z on television and stuff. In your mind, you're not thinking that they're real. Like, these are real bleeding people that do real things, and they may have the same issues that many of us do. Because remember, y'all, we still have family, even as we begin to climb these ladders, whether you're in corporate America, middle America, or you are going to, like, you are trying to hit that Hollywood status. We still have people in our family, or even it may be us, that deal with things that they try and make it seem like it's only limited to the inner city. Oh, it's only limited to low income people. When the reality is incest goes on, excuse me, please, I hope it don't get shut down. Things like that go on everywhere. Everywhere. It does not matter what your bank account looks like. It goes on everywhere. But they've tried to create this false reality to make us buy into it, that it's not happening. But the reality is it is happening. Just like I used to listen to some of the quotes that came out about what this person earned this year and what that person earned that year. And I'm looking at, you know, the prices of some of these items that they're wearing. And it's like, man, how long can you afford to do that consistently? How long can you afford to pay $10,000 for a bag? How long can you afford to pay, you know, $15,000 for an outfit? How long can you afford to live that way of life? Hey, Lizette, especially if you don't have a continuous income coming in, you aren't going to be able to sustain that for very long. And we see that, y'all. We see that in middle America. We see that in, you know, in these inner cities when you have a lower income. We see that. We see that in real time, but we don't think that they can also see that, because we're thinking, well, if we, you know, here I am, I'm making $25,000 a year, but if I was making $250,000 a year, my life would be so much better, and I would be able to buy so much more, and I would just be so happy. But the reality is, if we go in with the same spending habits that we have, making $25,000 a year, that $250,000 is not going to make a difference, Beverly McDonald, because we still have the same spending habits that we had when we were making the low amount of money. The other thing that I wish I would have listened to, that when I was married, my mother-in-law told me, is to live like you are still on welfare. She told me that when I got my very first when I started my career. My very first job, I was making $3.75 an hour. So imagine when I got out of college and I started making $10 an hour, y'all. I was ecstatic. I mean, $3.75 to $10, that's a huge leap. So she said, continue to live like you are on welfare, or at least live below your means. Don't, just because you got it, don't mean you're supposed to go out and spend it, Brenda Saunders. And a lot of times, y'all, that is what was happening. That's still happening. So even though these stars are living in Hollywood and you see going to Atlanta, I didn't even know they had valet at the malls in Atlanta, y'all. Okay. You see these valet parking in Atlanta. A lot of it is really a facade, Shawnette. A lot of it just the same way we are struggling here in middle America and struggling, just to living paycheck to paycheck. It's the same way, y'all. It really is for a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them really are struggling. They just make it look good because they still have a little bit more money. So their struggle, us needing $20, we need $20. They may need 20 million. You feel me? So that's really the difference. That's really the difference. And we can say if we had X amount of dollars, what we would do with it. But the reality is, if we don't change what we do today, if it's not serving us, then we take those same habits into our next day. And if our pockets are getting fatter and our spending habits are not, getting lower, it's going to be gone. It's going to be gone, y'all. So I don't know what is going on with this Remy Ma and Papoose situation. I know it just pains me to talk about it. So now allegedly he has someone, and I know that, listen, y'all, we as women, Tina T, we can be something else. And I'm just keeping it real. As women, we can be something else. I'm just keeping it real. She may have been doing her due and maybe they're not in a good space. I don't know. I have really not been following this because this really was black love for me. It just kept on coming up. So I was like, let's talk about it. But I really haven't been following it because at the end of the day, when I think of Papoose and Remy, I think of that is what relationships look like. Even if they go get back together after all of this, that is still what real relationships and marriages look like. Because I know my grandparents went through some things. My grandfather was not perfect. He was perfect for me, but he wasn't perfect for my grandma. And that's just the reality of it. People don't get through relationships and marriages and not have gone through anything. You just don't. That just don't happen. If you see a relationship and marriage that's like they didn't over that 7-year mark, they done been through some things and they're going to go through some more things. Now, when we get into the 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, you know what I mean? They done been through some things, but they decided to stick it out because at the end of the day, you do say for better or worse. That's why it's very important to know what your for better or worse is. Okay, that's where the experiences come through. Again, that goes back to what I had said before. I realized that I like being in a relationship, Shawnette. I love being married. I like having somebody wanting to love and support me. You know what I mean? I like that. Let me be a little booby sometimes. Let me be vulnerable. That's what that does for me. Let me be vulnerable, because a lot of times the strongest person is also can be the weakest at times, and they need somebody to hold them up as well, or be there or carry them over the threshold if they can't carry themselves. That's what the relationship thing does for me, but it's not for everybody. And then I think too, maybe, just maybe, they fell out of love with each other, because that is a possibility. I don't know if Remy was all that into Papoose. I always got the feeling, y'all, and this is to each his own. And Remy Queen, I love you, I love, and Queen, all I'm gonna say is do you, because your happiness matters as well. And sometimes when you fall out of love with people, it's not always easy to break that off, because you still have that, it's for better or worse. They're married. Like, this is not just a relationship, y'all. These people are married. Okay. And sometimes, listen, we are in a time now where you have open relationships. We are in a time now where people are in these polygamous relationships. People are just creating a relationship that they want, not based on what societal standards are. So we don't really know what this really looks like prior to. But I always did get that feeling that maybe it was more, Papoose. And then remember, he was the one that wanted the baby. I think he wanted to pick up where they probably had left off before she went to jail. 7 years. I think she was gone for about 7 years. That's a lot of time. Do you know how much I've changed in that time frame? So her priorities may have changed. And I don't know what it looked like before she went in. But I do know what played out for us, and what played out for us is that he held her down. And what played out for us is that even in the streets, like if he was doing anything, he was real respectful about it. Okay. Shanette said marriage equals falling in and out. Okay. Falling in and out of love, but staying together. You can love without being in love. Shanette, I'm going to say that again. Marriage equals falling in and out of love, but staying together. You can love without being in love. Yes. And I think that's relationships too, especially when you are in in a committed relationship. Everybody, when you dedicate yourselves to each other, I feel that is true, that it's about falling in and out of love with each other and acknowledging that, one of the greatest things my mom told me is that it's not always going to be where you're agreeing. It's just not going to be like that. And that is okay. You have to make space for that person to have their own feelings, to have their own opinions, and to know that sometimes I'm not going to like what you say, but that doesn't mean I'm leaving. Sometimes that person's not going to like what you have to say. And sometimes because of that, you may fall out of love with each other, but the love is not gone. You know what I mean? That's why I think it's important to continue to make sure that you fall in love with each other every day. 50 First Dates is my favorite movie, y'all, because it's like, man, if you can love someone enough to want them to love you, fall in love with you each and every day, and it doesn't have to be anything huge. It can be just a kind word. It can be a smile. It can be a good morning. Just make me fall in love with you more and more every single day. That is how love is built up, and that is how relationships stay. Because if you go in, hey, bro, Mike, good morning to you. If you go in thinking that it's going to be peaches and cream, and a lot of us have gotten in trouble with that because we look at television and what played out on TV, and they show things like the Waltons, and everybody loved each other and everybody got along. But the reality is, Marilyn and Angela, that is not true. The reality is that families fall out. Relationships, they sometimes, you have your ups and downs. My mom called it a 7-year itch. A lot of people go through these 7-year itches in relationships, but it's sticking through it what creates the longevity. Shanette said, Judy Bloom said it best, life never promised you a rose garden, just make the most of it. That part, that pay. Hey, Angie Martin. Hey, Heretic. Hey, Cuthbert. Hey, Angela. That part. I think we get in trouble because for so long we believe what was playing out on television, and we all wanted that life, and they painted this American dream of what it looks like to have that type of life. And now what we're seeing is that no, life can be tough, but life is also this beautiful, beautiful experience, and it comes with hurt, but it comes with love also, and it's going to come with tears, but it also comes with so much laughter. And if you continue to look at it that way, everybody, and not expect everybody to be perfect, and know that even your favorite star, Marilyn, has issues just like we do. Have issues. So additional cases have come out, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and because I don't even want to Remy and Papoose, I wish y'all all the best luck. I don't know what's going on in y'all relationship. I didn't even light my candle, y'all. I don't know what's going on in y'all relationship, but I do know that relationships take time and effort. But if you are dedicated to that person, it is, and you know that person is worth it, man, listen, Papoose, you better go get your wife. Okay, Remy, go get your husband. Do what y'all need to do. Get over it and get back to and move on with life. If that's what you so want to do. If y'all had fallen out of love with each other, then you know what? Move on. Move on. That's all I'm gonna say. So it's being reported that additional cases have come up. Sid said, treat yourself, don't cheat yourself. He's you are 10, very blessed 10. I'm coming in at a 10 too. Grand rising to you, bro, Mike. He said, Papoose is an honest, good dude. It was really wrong on how Remy did him. And a lot of people are feeling that way. A lot of people are feeling that way because of what has played out on social media, what has been fed to us, that he's a real good dude. And I have not heard anything bad against him. I have not, you know. And a lot of times it be the good ones that be the ones getting cheated on. I always was told I was a good girl for a very long time, but what does that do? You can be, listen, what's the saying? You can flip, you can do all types of things. You can cook all well, you can have the prettiest face and all of that, but it is not gonna stop you from getting cheated on, Dream House. It is not gonna get you, it's not gonna stop you from getting cheated on. You can be slanging the best, okay? It's not gonna stop you from getting cheated on. You have to want to be in that relationship. You have to want to be in that committed relationship. And some people, listen, I know some women who just, because they got cheated on for a very long time, they just can't be that. In the moment he start, you know, and to each his own, to each his own. You have to know yourself. You have to know yourself. You have to know also what you are willing to deal with. I think that's why it is important to know thyself before you get involved in anything as far as a relationship, because you really can't love yourself. You can't love anyone if you yourself can't love yourself. You can love them, but the love will not be a healthy love. It'll be the same kind of love that you are giving yourself. So if you are in a relationship that is not a good relationship, then that's why, because you haven't learned how to love yourself yet. But I say that also, y'all, to ask you, because Joanne says she's at a 10. She said, when two people fall in love with each other, parts of their soul is in you. Yes, even if you're not together no more, when they're, yes, Joanne. That's the part I was getting at earlier. And a lot of people, that's why I said it may go over some people's head. But when two people fall in love, it is really a soul connection if it's real. And a lot of times you can feel that soul connection. You don't even have to be legally married to feel like you're married, because you dedicated your soul to that person. And it's not even like, you don't even have to say it. It's just a feeling that you both get. It's a feeling that you both get, Dark Child and Angela. It's just a feeling that you get. So everybody, listen, most of us are going to have felt or will feel heartbreak, and I hope that everybody gets to experience some real love as well. Even if that love that you experienced didn't end well, at least you got to experience some love. So now you know what you like, and you also know what you don't like. Best friend, right, Joyce Taylor? Hey, Miss Johnson, best friend. So moving on, these allegations on Diddy, y'all. So allegedly some additional cases have been added, and this is actually a male coming forward. I do need to say that the views and opinions expressed here are not the views and opinions of Brainlinks Media. And if you need to leave, I fully understand, because it does not feel good to be talking about it. I want to open up the discussion because what we are hearing is the allegations that are coming out are of kids, right? We're talking teenagers. And I want to open up the discussion because a lot of times when we think of teenagers and we think of teenagers who may be involved in things like this, a lot of times they're caught fast. And then I also want to say, you also have to think about some of these kids who are running away and they're just looking for opportunities to survive at any means necessary. It's no more than that drug dealer who decided to go out and get that 8-ball because they need to feed their family. It's an opportunity to survive. And for some people, they don't see any other opportunity. So let's open up the discussion on that one, Patricia Ashley, because at the end of the day, we keep hearing about these cases that continue to be added, but we aren't really talking about the people on the end of those cases, the victims. You know, what do these victims look like? And I know a lot of people have been saying, well, where are the parents? And me, myself, are questioning, you know, where are the parents? And then I had to take a step back and think about, well, what did it look like for you growing up, Vet? And think about some of the parents that you may have, you know, been encountered with. Larry Cooper, Mikey Piffiani. I had to think about that, Pimp Nuts, too. That think about your own childhood and think about the stability or instability that some of the people that you grew up with, because growing up, a lot of times we had things, the kids who were acting out or may not have had a good support system at home, some of them went to places like Job Corps, or some of them ended up quitting school altogether or ran away. Some of them were placed in group homes, you know, and I think about, well, is this possibly what some of these kids look like that this had been done to? And then I think about my interaction with some of these kids in school or just being out and about. And I think about how I can remember going home many nights, especially here in the wintertime. It's man, and we are in Western New York. And if you are near the Great Lakes, you done got hit with some snow. So think about a teenage girl being out, can't go home because at home is a lot worse, if we're being honest, may not have no food in the refrigerator, right? Tell me you don't know somebody, you can't think of somebody like that may have happened to that, or somebody's whose that life was. You know, a lot of times we want to judge based on our own experience, but when you actually just put your foot in that shoe for just a moment, take a step back, Michael Rhodes, take a step back, Ivan, and think about, well, what could these alleged victims' life look like beforehand? And that's what I've been doing. And I'm thinking, you know, because we can all say, oh, that couldn't have been me. And some people are saying that, you know, the 13-year-old girl, well, how could nobody saw her? Nobody tried to help her or stop. All these people saw her running out the house naked and nobody stopped her. Yeah, I don't believe that's true. Yeah, well, listen, you'd be surprised what people do. You'd be surprised what people are willing to ignore just because they don't want to get involved. They don't want to get involved. I believe it was about a week ago, or maybe it was yesterday. I don't remember. I told a brief story of me running down the street. All I had on was a t-shirt and some underwear. I'm running down a main street. Y'all ain't no car stop me. Ain't no car stop and say, are you all right? Not a one. They probably were thinking, look at this crazy girl. Not thinking I done got my doggone butt beat. And I'm running literally for my life. Ain't nobody trying to stop and say, are you all right? And I'm a black girl running down the street. The young lady at question was not black, but it also begs the question, why didn't the people who were at this alleged party stop? You know, and then we get into the fact that some of these young men, some of these gay young men, y'all, if we're being honest, and again, if you need to pull away, then go ahead. But I'm just going to keep it real here because I got a lot of family and I've had a lot of conversations and I've heard a lot of stories, Fred Scott. Good morning. Happy Friday. And a lot of times, if you are not accepted at home and you are gay or bi or you are poly or any of that, and you are not accepted at the place, DJ Mario, that is supposed to provide your safety, be a safe net for you, then you are going to be forced out in the streets. And the first person that says hi and or you are beautiful and come on, you can eat all you want and you can get high to numb your pain all you want, you may just very well say yes. You may just very well say yes, right? Kanisha said, yes, this is so terrible. My cousin was just posting about how some kids don't want to be home from homeschool no more. No food in the house, dirty. Oh, goodness, I feel so bad for them. I thank God for my upbringing. Exactly, cuz. Exactly. That is what I'm getting at. We don't know what a lot of these kids' stories look like prior to. I know that it is not that easy for kids who come from stable environments to be lured into situations like this. Is it possible? Absolutely. It happens. Absolutely. It still happens. But there's a reason why a lot of these predators, they go after people who they know. They go after, and I'm saying people because it's men and women in these allegations. They go after people they know who may not have that a family who cares. Think about all the missing bodies. Think about all the missing people, all the missing women. Every day you can turn on you can turn on anything. You can go on the black and missing, bury the violence. Someone's missing. What can we be honest and say, a lot of this may have to do with the trafficking that's going around? Young girls and boys running away from home because you had your father then called himself beating the gay out of you. So now you run into the first open arms and you're not knowing that first open arms is the devil himself reincarnated. And not only that, he has a posse, all these powerful people, if the allegations are true. And then not only that, all of these things are happening to you and you trying to get some help and nobody believes you because you're just a little old you who comes from a broken background. Y'all, come on now. I just really want to open up the discussion for us to just think at a higher level and know that there's victims at the end of this thing. And yes, we all may admire the things that have been portrayed to us out, in social media, as far as these people that we've looked up to. Kanisha said, people who are vulnerable, low self-esteem, just people at their lowest in life, just terrible. And those are the people a lot of times who are victimized. Being vulnerable has gotten me in some hot water. Thank God I was able to get myself out of it. But I think had I not been already doing some work on myself, I may have, you'd be amazed, everybody. A lot of times we think of other people's lives from our own life standpoint, based on our own experiences. But instead of, again, just put yourself in their shoes just for a moment and not try and bash somebody who's coming forward saying that they've been victimized. And think about, too, if you've ever had a situation where you tried to tell anybody that something was going on with you and you weren't believed. Imagine how that made you feel. And now imagine how some of these people may feel coming forward. And on top of that, you got some other people coming forward with some stuff just lying, which is making it harder for the actual victims. Oh, yeah. And then if we dig even deeper, were the people who did that to the victims also victims in their life? I mean, you can go dig deep and deeper and deeper and deeper, Queen. It's crazy. It's really crazy. But in lighter news, everybody, huge congratulations to Taylor Swift. Let me bring that up right now. Taylor Swift out here doing some big things. Big shout out to Taylor Swift. That's all I'm going to say. She got 10 Billboard Music Award wins last night, 49, and at an all-time 49. She out here doing her thing. You cannot take away what she's doing. I know that they try and compare her and Beyonce. And listen, a lot of us in the Black community was getting a little peed off because I didn't even know it was a thing. Y'all, her and Beyonce, because they're in their own lanes. But now the media was trying to, and a lot of us was getting a little like, wait a minute, just stop. because we look at Beyonce as a GOAT. Even still now, we look at her as a GOAT. Yeah, but congratulations to Taylor Swift. Queen, you continue doing what it is that you are doing, because there's a lot of young girls and boys looking up to you, and they are going to need somebody to look up to. And I'm so glad that a lot of these kids coming up right now do not look at color. They don't look at color, Madrigal Music. They do not look at color, Mary Lee. And I'm so happy about that. All right. Kanisha said, yes, cousin, I learned from my own mistakes. Okay. And we'll continue to learn from our mistakes. That is the goal, to continue to learn from our mistakes. Y'all, if you can do me a favor, if you are watching on YouTube, if you are watching on TikTok, go ahead and like this, because what us creators are finding is that this algorithm, and Joker said it, I think what happened is that, bro, they reset the algorithm earlier than January 1st. He said that they were going to reset the algorithm. And if you are a creator, then you know it is tough out here in these creator streets. So help us with this algorithm, and go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe, because if you don't, chances are, if you want to see another episode of the Vet Green Show, you are going to have to go and search. You're going to have to go and search. So go ahead and hit that like, share it, especially while we are live, because y'all, they are saying we are not playing. They want people on these apps. The more that people are on these apps, the more you can buy things. Now, when I get on TikTok, they're trying to sell me things before I can even get, and I'm still learning TikTok, y'all. So I'm trying to get rid of the ads where they're trying to sell me stuff before. Thank you so much, baby. Yes, Devasha said, like, share, and subscribe. So y'all, they want us on these apps, and I get it, because listen, no longer is it going to be those major networks. I see this entire thing unfolding, even the way we consume our news. Some of y'all are consuming your news from Vet Green, and I love that. Come on back, because I got to listen. I got to get it together, and I'm not doing this for money. I'm doing this like I got to get it together. I'm telling myself I got to get it together. I do. I got to get it together. That means I have to do more of this. So y'all, listen, it's about to be changing. It is about to be changing. The way we consume our news, the way we consume our information, everything is going to be changing. And that's a good thing. You know, change is good. Got to embrace the change. Definitely. A lot of us be afraid of the change. When it comes to change, don't a lot of us be running away, y'all? Like, I ain't trying to change that. Why break it if it's all, why mess with it if it's already working? You know, but sometimes it's like 90 years old. You've been doing the same thing for 90 years, and you can do it a lot more efficient, you know, and streamline it. That's what change is, y'all. So we see it coming. You see more and more. It's just cracking me up that I'm seeing more and more people that used to be on mainstream television now coming over to the YouTube side. I mean, it's all good. It really is. We can learn from each other. I think what 2025 is going to truly be is, I think those who are really ready to do some big things in their life, you're going to see a lot more collaborations. Because what I realize and what I believe others are realizing is that we work better together, and we can achieve so much more when we collaborate together. We in the audience, like, it makes the audience reach that much greater when we begin to collaborate, especially if you are like-minded and you have similar goals and aspirations. When you begin to collaborate gracefully, stone like rock, when we begin to collaborate in these things, then we have a greater reach, and we can get the information out there. And now we can create our own media platforms, and we can dictate the information and all of that, but we have to create it, y'all, and we have to do it together, because we can't get there thinking that we can just crap on the other person. We too far behind for that. We 400 years behind. Okay, so we got to work together to make it great. We have to. Black Wall Street, white Wall Street, it don't matter. It's people Wall Street at this point. We all have to work together. So I am going to end this thing, everybody. I hope y'all all have a wonderful, 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 wonderful on purpose. Stay safe out there. I don't know what it looked like for y'all, but check my latest post over here on TikTok. Listen, y'all, I woke up this morning. I was not ready. I had fell asleep early. Watch. Oh, that's what I wanted to talk to y'all. Did y'all see the latest episode of Carisha Please with Flo Millie on there, y'all? I like Flo Millie. I like her. You know, Glorilla is, and what I love about Glorilla is that I listen, it does not matter with Glorilla. I see that she reaches all generations. But I also like Flo, and she was on there yesterday, and I liked the episode. I feel that she is grounded in her whatever she had gone through, and she hinted about going through some things. 7 p.m. Friday. She hinted about going through some things. But I think it kind of level-headed her. She even had Carisha looking at her like, and Carisha talked about on there how and I'm glad she opened up about this, and I hope that she does get some help, because what she's gone through, the allegations, y'all can call it what y'all want to, but she's still a young girl. She talks about how she's been depressed, and you can tell, y'all, I'm an energy person and I'm an eye person, and you can tell that she's going through it. Like, you can put some makeup on, you can put some lipstick on, but that don't mean you ain't going through it from the inside out. How long did Wendy Williams get up there and do what she did, and all that, all the time she was going through HELL with her husband and his Zen mistress, so I think about that, and I do say, young ladies and young men out here, all of you out here, I know, hey, Rachel, I want to leave you with this. And I was thinking about this because I was watching something yesterday, and the guy was breaking down, and this is a conversation that I had with my daughters, y'all. I had this conversation with my daughters because my mom had it with me, and more often than not, it's the male buying the female a drink, right? But think about the allegations that were out there, that at these parties, people were getting drinks that had Mickeys in them. That was the allegations. And I'm listening to whatever it was I was watching yesterday, and I may have saved it. As a matter of fact, I think I did. I hope I did, because I remember thinking that I wanted to play this because, like I was saying, I had the conversation with my daughters, y'all. Like, if you go out and someone buys you a drink, you make sure you're with them when they buy that drink for you. Don't let nobody bring you a drink to your table. But y'all, I never ever had that conversation with my sons. I never ever had that conversation with my sons. So as I am, okay, yep, here it is. I hope I saved it. Oh no, I wrote it down. So as I was listening to what I was listening to, I had to go and tell my son. I'm like, wait a minute. I said, if anybody ever offers to buy you a drink, you go with them, right? You never, ever let anybody bring you a drink to the table. You never, ever, because you don't know from the time that they go and get that drink what they've done to that drink. You never, ever leave your drink with anybody. You take your drink with you. Take your drink with you. Unless it's like one of your best friends, you know what I mean? That's a little bit different, but not somebody you're just meeting. Not somebody you're just meeting, because you don't know really who that person is. And as they're saying this, I'm like, man, I never had that conversation with my sons. So I'm going to leave all the people that are out there dating and going out to bars and stuff. Or maybe you are going to people's houses. You don't know what they have in their liquor. Bring your own bottle. I know somebody who always had their own bottle, and for a very long time I used to crack up about it, but now I get it. Bring your own bottle. Bring your own bottle. Bring your own personal. Just be safe out there, y'all. Bring your own personal, because you do not know. Nowadays, it's better. It's better to be aware. It is better to be aware than it is to possibly end up, being raped and not even remembering it. You know what I mean? It is better to be more aware. Let them call you bougie. Okay, let them call you bougie. If you 420 friendly, bring your own joints. Bring them rolled up. Bring your own joints. Don't be smoking behind nobody. Know what it smell like, okay? Know what the real thing smell like, and know what something that can be laced smell like. Just be careful, everybody. Be careful. Grand Rising, Bam Fam. Grand Rising to you. Rachel said most people do not look like what they've been through. Okay? Okay? That part. That part. And a lot of people have been through a lot of things. And these people who are coming forward, these people who, if the allegations are true, it's going to take years of therapy to get over what has been done. And some of these stories, y'all, some of these stories from people waking up and they were still being, from it is my understanding that that one date thing that was allegedly in the baby oil, some of the effects, and I didn't even know some people take it recreationally, y'all. Like, and I'm learning so much. But they if you've ever had surgery, apparently it gives you that effect where you are just out like a light, and then you're up and like time has stopped and you don't even remember anything. It gives you that kind of effect. So imagine waking up while something is being done to you, and then you go back out, and then you wake back up and you don't even recall. Like, time and space is no longer apparent, but you know that something's not right because your body's not feeling right. Cousin, Uncle, Grampy. Here we go again. Here we go again over here on TikTok. I was about to end it anyways, y'all. This happens all the time. I told y'all every single time when you begin to use your voice, this is why they don't want us using their voices. But that's all right. I'll appeal it, and it happens. But I want to wish you all a wonderful, 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 wonderful weekend. I'm going to get back here on live a little bit later on today. I want to talk about Safari Samuels, and I guess he's trying to say why he hasn't seen his kids. You said I'm selling t-shirts right now. See, DJ Mario said he's selling t-shirts right now. Yeah, I guess Safari's trying to justify him not seeing his kids for a while. Safari and Erica Mena, yeah, I don't know. I like Gia Casey. So I mean, Erica, man, yeah, listen, I guess we'll have a conversation about that. I just don't think that if somebody got somebody and don't run in the same circle with me. Don't run in the same circle with me. Knowing good and well, and don't be coming all up in my face and stuff like that. Knowing good and well, you know what I mean? Don't do that, because that's what makes it treacherous. It's the man's fault, because he or the woman, whoever cheating on you, who you're cheating with. But I think it's just latte. I think it's just highly disrespectful to be all up in people's face, knowing good and well you messing with they other half. Highly disrespectful. So I'm gonna leave it at that, y'all. I'll be back on here very, very soon, because you got to do what you got to do. Nicki Minaj put him in his spiral. Let's argue. Okay, put him in this spiral. Let's argue. What are you talking about, DJ Mario? See, I was talking about I was getting on off of here. Now what you talking about, DJ Mario? You know what, y'all? I'll be back. Give me some time. I think I'm going to get back on here. Hey, bro. I think I'm going to get back on here about 12. Let me make sure that this loaded, too. I had to make sure it loaded, bro, because the commercial wasn't commercialing for me. Yep, it's here. So I also want to bring y'all attention to the sponsor of the Vet Green Show, Paint It Drip, everybody.
I'm going to support your page. It doesn't hurt to like somebody's page. It doesn't hurt to follow somebody. It doesn't hurt to comment either. That helps the person engage. You don't know what people are going through. Support somebody's page today. Do yourself a favor. Stop being selfish and go and support somebody's page today. Go and subscribe, go and follow, whatever the case may be. That could really help a person. You don't know what somebody...
I love it. I love my Painted Drip hoodie, y'all. I wore my Painted Drip hoodie the other day. If you are interested in getting you some Painted Drip gear, make sure you hit my bro Overlook MC right here on TikTok, Franklin Stewart over here on Facebook, or you can go to the Painted Drip page right on Instagram, everybody, and get you a hoodie. He got some new ones that's going to be coming in. I can't wait for the red one to come in because I think that red is going to be fire. And yeah, it's going to be fire. So everybody, yes, like Babe said, definitely support. Everybody have a wonderful day. I don't know about y'all, but we snowed in. We are snowed in, depending on where you are. If there is a travel advisory. Okay. Big Mike said, don't be waiting for that red mines. I know it is, babe. It is a travel advisory, everybody. I did not even know. Like, I woke up this morning thinking that, oh my God, let me pull up a video let me see if I can send it to myself of my babies. When I tell you the snow is so high that my big girl couldn't even, she looked at me. I looked at her. Oh, I think I did put it on my TikTok. Let me pull it up on my TikTok, everybody. She looked at me like, man, we got to go. She was just playing out in a little bit of snow. Now the snow big as she is. It is just hilarious how quick that can happen here. It trips me out. So let me go here. I think I can share it. Let me see if I can share it. I think this is the one. Okay, yeah. That's the one. I'm going to share this so y'all can see just what we are dealing with here. Let me cancel this. Just what we are dealing with here in the Buffalo area. It just trips me out. And like I said in this video, it's not that we're used to the snow, y'all. Like, we're used to the snow. It's not that. It's just that here we can literally have all 4 seasons in a day. Like, snowed in where I'm at. Okay, like we listen, y'all, travel advisories and all of that. So while you snowed in, make sure you tune into the Vet Green Show. As a matter of fact, I think I may be going live in a little while just to see how y'all doing on this beautiful Friday. It's beautiful because we woke. Thank you, Lord. Amen. But some of y'all may have woke up to what I woke up to, and it looks a little bit like this. But anywho, if you are on TikTok, I'm gonna show you in a minute. I just want to make sure that first DJ you have Mario, look at that TikTok post I put up. So if you haven't, don't want this go ahead and hit that bio. Hit the link in my bio and subscribe to Green Links Media, our YouTube channel. But on top of that, y'all, I want you to stay safe while you are out and about. Okay, especially if you are in any area that has been hit by the snow. Okay, the lake effect snow is real. Okay, the lake effect snow is real. It's real. Here we go.
Look at my baby like, Remy, I really got to go through this. Look at all what is going on here. All the snow, y'all. It's not that we be like, dang, the snow. It's like, man, it was just 70 degrees. Now we got 5 feet of snow. That's what us Buffalonians be feeling like, y'all. Anywho, y'all, this is a Green Links Media production, like, and I appreciate you.
It's not the snow. It's not, I mean, it's the snow because it's like, man, now you got to go through it. But it's like, man, it was literally like, I was literally just standing outside, y'all. I don't know what the degrees was yesterday, but I was literally standing outside. And I was like, oh, I could have just put on, not my heavy jacket. It was nice. Like, it wasn't that cold outside. And then I wake up this morning and it's like, I can't even open up the door. I got to get the and big girl looking at me like, Grammy, I ain't come back to Buffalo for this. I could have stayed in Chicago. I did not come back to Buffalo for this. So y'all, it gets real TB Kenny. It gets real TB Kenny. I don't know if you are in any area that's been affected by this lake effect snow. And then the lake didn't freeze yet, y'all. The lake didn't freeze yet, and it's just been raining. I remember telling my daughter, I'm like, darn, I don't remember it ever raining this much. And I'm like, that lake, I'm telling the kids, I'm like, the lake just go get higher and higher and higher. And it has to go somewhere, like energy has to go somewhere. And as it begins to cold and the weather begins to change and the winds get to blowing, man, and so comes the lake effect snow, y'all. So anywho, enjoy your Friday. Make sure you have subscribed, share, and subscribe to Green Links Media if you have not already. I'll be back on here sometime today. Make sure we have a special pop-up of the morning show tomorrow at 7 p.m. Right, bro? 7 p.m. tomorrow. We're having an evening edition of the morning show podcast. You're going to see us together again. We're going to deep dive into this conversation. Congratulations to Miss Arkansas on her movie premiere. She's going to be talking about that. Miss Arkansas, everybody out here doing some things, okay? If you are attached to Green Links Media, you are out here doing some things, okay? Whether you are getting your painted drip merch together, whether you are building this thing, or you just out there doing some things, attach yourself. They say, congratulations, Miss Arkansas. If you are watching now or the replay, she's going to be talking about that and more, everybody. We go check in with each other tomorrow. So tune into a special evening show edition of the Morning Show podcast tomorrow, right here on Green Links Media. We're going to be going live at 7 p.m. So many people miss us. So many people when I'm out and about always ask about when we're coming back. Y'all, we miss y'all just as much as y'all miss us. It's just that life is life. And sometimes you really do have to pivot in order for life to bring you the next reward that life has for you. So we'll be back. I love y'all. Long life. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day on purpose, because you can. You can, you can, you can, you can, you can. You know why you can? Because God said so, y'all. I'll see y'all later.
I just like the sound of it. I just like the sound of it.
Man, I can't come down, it's only up from here. I can shake this hair off, yeah, I know it's real. When I'm seeing tone, baby, tell me what's the deal. Man, I'm feeling like David when I do my dance. I'm fading in the spirit, my vision kinda blurry. I'm feeling kinda woozy, I'm fading in the spirit. My vision kinda blurry, I'm feeling kinda woozy. Yeah, come on, Jesus Christ, tell me what's the deal.
I just like the
I'm
sound.
feeling kinda dizzy, and ain't pop the pill. I'm high on cloud nine, and I'm feeling fine. And ain't the only one who want it, no cockabine. I'm feeling faded, and it feel real good to me. What's the secret? Tell me what you do to me. I'm high in the spirit, feeling real woozy. I'm feeling like David, tell him get
I'm high though, off that Christ though, going psycho. I run around doing cartwheels like a hypo. You feeling me? Don't be killing me. You're illing me. Demons on my back, yeah, they be drilling me. I tell you 3 times like a trilogy.
We hope you enjoyed the show. This is a Green Links Media production, and we thank you for watching. We are here every Monday through Friday beginning at 9 a.m., so make sure you subscribe and hit that bell while you're at it.
yeah, I know it's real.
Love you long life.